Hey everyone, it's Aurora Light. I wanted to share my energy interpretation for August coming up. Now, when I do these energy interpretations, what I am doing is taking all of the intel from all of the beautiful people in the world that I resonate with at a soul level, the information that they're giving me, running it through the filter of my body, which helps me to know whether or not something feels true, and adding my own intuition on that as well. So it's this weaving together of all of the energies that are incoming, and then I just want to share them with you and what I feel like is going to be transpiring, because August is going to be pretty crazy in very intense ways. I am sorry to say, for those who are like, no, not more crazy. We're not over it yet. 2020 is a year of epic proportions. Nothing like this has ever happened on the planet because we're in the middle of dismantling really old systems and paradigms that have not been working for anyone truly, except for perhaps a few elite. So we are seeing and witnessing the dismantling, the deconstruction, and then the rebuilding simultaneously of what the earth has been all about. So, the themes that are really coming up for me this month are openness, accountability, possibility, and agreement. So, I want to talk just a little bit about who this energy update is for, because I am not speaking to everyone. I am speaking right now to those who are here who are anchoring in the highest light. If you are watching this, I'm sure that is you. So, you are someone that has come to this planet on a mission to accelerate both the dismantling of all of those old systems and structures and the rebuilding. And you are a system buster, but you may not be out with protest signs. You might be really doing the inner work and the astral work, the behind the scenes stuff that needs to happen so that humanity can evolve and elevate their spirit. This is what we are in right now. This is like the ascension process happening in front of our eyes, on the physical level, on the mental, on the spiritual, on the emotional, on the energetic level. It is all encompassing and overwhelming for many of us at times, especially when we're not able to look at things and actually be able to parse them out. It's very difficult to look at the outside world right now and be able to go like, oh yeah, this is all happening for us and it's going to be okay. But let me assure you, from the galactic level, from the astral levels, the light is already won. This is all unfolding for our highest and best good. And so we, as those anchors of light, are needing to be first anchored in to our truth, to our bodies, so we can ride these waves of intensity. The first gateway that's coming up is the Lion's Gate on the 8th of August, the 8-8 portal, where we align with Sirius, our spiritual sun. And there are many Sirian starseeds that are here on the planet. And if you are one of those, or if you've spent any time around Sirius, you are going to be really activated in this energy. But it's going to be a lovely, more peaceful energy anchoring in, not like the batshit crazy energy that comes through sometimes with these portals. This one should be a little bit more uplifting. So breathe all of that energy in. Know that you are receiving all kinds of DNA activations, upgrades, attunements. So if you can spend time outside, that will be really supportive to ground that cosmic energy that's coming through and down and into your body. So when we are doing that and we are opening to possibilities, we are going to be able to anchor in that highest light, knowing that everything that's collapsing around us is doing so for good reason. Now, we are also going to need to be responsible with our light and understand that not everyone will be seeing it as the highest and best good. And a lot of things are going to be continuing to come to light that are going to horrify a lot of people. And some of you have known about these things in the background for a long time, but just imagine thinking that your life is hunky-dory and that everything on earth is as it seems, and then all of a sudden the blinders are pulled off and you are now having this spiritual awakening and this perhaps stark night of the soul, because you're like, nothing is as I thought it was going to be. So we need to anchor in our light and hold compassion for all of the beings who are waking up now to understand that there is a lot more going on than what we had maybe seen at just the surface level. Many people have been living at that surface level for their entire lives and did not understand the energetic underpinnings of all of this. So sending to them a lot of love. We are going to need to take responsibility for our own parts in all of the old programs that we have been running. And this is continuing to dismantle our prejudices, our old programs, things that we have been taught, but we are responsible for shifting. So that means things are going to be coming up for us, and we're going to need to look at them clearly. And you don't have to necessarily do much more than just notice them and say, this is an old program. Wow, I no longer require this one to learn and grow, so I'm going to pick something that's going to support my growth, my evolution. And then you can choose a new way of being consciously. And you don't have to necessarily agree with everything, but you do need to understand that it serves a purpose. That is really important. And there's going to be a lot of things coming at you from all over. And I just need to say this. To stand in and anchor your light, you cannot be swept away by everybody else's wah. If you do, that's okay. Someone else will be anchoring in the light for you, and you can lean on them for support and know that they are being an example of just holding that in their body and being calm. And then when they are freaking out, then you can do the same for them. So it's going to be all over the place. It's all perfect. It's all okay. Our job is to get into our bodies, though, and anytime anything comes up, is to really look at it, give it all the love that it needs, the appreciation, and then you can send it into the light, and it's going to be dissolved more fully very soon. It seems like in the past, you would come up against an old program, an old thought pattern, an old belief, and you'd think you would have gotten through it, but then you're like running into it again 6 months later or a year later. It's because we've been walking this spiral path. And now on August the 16th, hang on. Yep. The 16th of August, according to Jason Estes, who's one of my favorite thought leaders in being able to read timelines and understand what is happening. Our two worlds, our two timelines, and are going to actually merge and become one. So since January, we have been running this chaos bubble and a harmony bubble. And you could really see that in the world. I have been chilling in the harmony bubble, and it has been absolutely glorious. This has actually been one of the best years of my life, regardless of external circumstances, because for me, it has been this internal journey. But I see the chaos bubble, and it has been what a lot of people have been spinning in, and some people have been bouncing back and forth between chaos and harmony, and we won't be able to do that anymore because they are merging, which is awesome. That's what we need to do to get back into being one world. But the merging is going to be pretty intense because it means all of the chaos that you have not dealt with, especially if you've been hanging out in this harmony bliss timeline, which has been amazing, is just going to be presented for you, and you're going to need to deal with it. And again, the ways that we can deal with this is by getting support if we need it, but first going in and seeing what our own being needs us to do with it. And I have found over the years that typically it is just needing our love and our attention and our agreement to appreciate it for what it was and for what it has taught us. And then we can let it go with love. And I have heard this said, and I am experiencing this now. There is so much light on the planet now that things are able to be dissolved into the light so much more easily. So I don't want you to be alarmed at the chaos that is going to be entering in if you've been living in that bliss bubble. It's exciting. You've been training for lifetimes for this. So you are more prepared than you thought. And we are doing it as a team. As we said before, if you are spinning and you don't know what to do, there are going to be examples that you can lean on for support, both energetically and hopefully in your real life. This is a time to double down on our self-care. We need to take very strong responsibility for ourselves first, because you can't put on someone else's oxygen mask first, as we learn every time we fly, right? Put your own oxygen mask on first. So we get to double down on self-care, triple down. I know you've been doing that, even more, even more, even more, so that we can be the light that we are and anchor it in, so that all those that are coming in to this awakening for the first time and feeling energy, they will feel yours. They will be able to tune into your energy. So light workers, way showers, beings that are beautiful examples of what is possible on this planet, we need you more than ever. It is time to rise and shine even more. I've been saying that since the beginning of this pandemic. This is our time. And so I want to offer you support and love and all of my assurances that we are riding this out together. We are not doing it alone. We are also heading towards a world that is beyond anything that we could even imagine. But I have been gifted with experiences of new earth and what Gaia has already prepared that we are going to be ascending into over the next while in these beautiful possibilities. It is amazing. So I want you to keep that end in mind and align with your higher self and your North Star, your truth, by coming within first. See what you need. Discern through your body, mind, and soul in alignment. And if you're feeling out of alignment, the fastest way back in is to move out all of the energy. If you need to run or shake or sweat or just breathe, do that. Breathe to come back to your heart. And do what is right in front of you in that moment. Ask yourself, what is the most loving thing you can do for yourself in that moment? And don't, if it's overwhelming, think too far ahead. Just, what do I need in this moment? And then ask yourself in the next moment, what do I need in this next moment? And if people are around you or spinning out, ask them, what do you need right now? Not focusing on too far away. Focus on where you are now. And as things are coming up, again, in the world or in your personal life, you don't have to agree with them in terms of it being like, yes, this is great, but you do have to accept them from a place of divine neutrality, saying that this was necessary in the past. We needed it to learn and grow, and we are also using it to push us, propel us, catalyze us to where we are going. That polarity is something we are moving out of and into unity. And when you're coming out of polarity, you bring it into that center point of that 0 point now, where all is, and it's that stillness, it's that bliss. So use the 8-8 portal coming up to fuel you, to renew you, to really support you in coming into the now. Time is going to be a little wonky. We're going to be unlocking time from a really interesting opportunity to then be able to move beyond time, right? Time is the 4th dimension, and we are going to be ascending eventually to that 5th dimension with our physical body, not just our consciousness. A lot of consciousness is already bouncing around through all kinds, like up to the 12D or even higher. So our physical bodies are going through a process. That means we are perhaps going to feel all kinds of ways. Time is morphing, time is moving, time is not what it seems like it used to be, or maybe it'll go back to what it was, but then it's moving again around come back to your heart, come back to your breath. Just be in acceptance of it is what it is, and know that this too shall pass. We will survive, and we are going to do more than just survive. We are going to thrive beyond this. So sending you so much love for August, sending you all of my strength, and know that your inner reserves are built for this. You got this. We can do this. And all my love. Mwah.